Hello everyone. So we are starting the climb to Pikes Peak Summit in Colorado Springs, Colorado, United States. Can you hear me? Can you hear me right? So we are about to start on Pikes Peak Highway, a highway maintained by Department of Traffic of Colorado. And this highway is 19 miles long. It starts from the toll gate that we are seeing on the screen right now, and it climbs all the way to the top at the summit of Pikes Peak Mountain. It is a 19-mile stretch. Right now we are at the toll tag, which is at the elevation of 7,750 feet. Let me turn on that information. Yes, so we are at Pikes Peak Tollgate. It is the first mile marker out of 19 mile markers on the whole highway, and we are at the elevation of 7,750 feet, already pretty high. And we will be climbing all the way to the top to the summit, which is the highest point, 14,115 feet. At this point, all the riders of Mast Malang Rider have arrived. Now see this gentleman, he's a supervisor, he's telling all the attendees to tell us something. I'll tell you later what he's talking about. He's basically telling everyone to warn us about something. We'll see later, soon. So now you can see Furqan on the left, Farhan in front of me, Akram in front of me, and then on the other toll tag we have Rehan and Salman, all paying the toll, starting the ascent to the summit. And we are told something that you will hear yourself soon. Farhan is told whatever the supervisor told the attendees to tell us, and we will hear once we get to the gate. Farhan is telling them that we are just going to the top and we'll be coming back soon. We are not staying there for long due to the bad weather.
Kind of.
Okay. So you guys can't drive past mile 16. If you want to go to the summit, you have to take the shuttle from mile 16.
Whatever everyone
But
is
it
doing.
sounds like they're just going up to 16
Yeah,
and turning
yeah.
around. There's also some weather happening. There's light grapple, which is like a hill, and lightning strikes. So just letting you guys
Be
know.
careful. Okay.
Okay.
How much is it?
$15.
So, as you heard, she was telling us that there is a danger of lightning strikes, ice droplets, which are basically hail on top of the summit, and we are not allowed to go beyond the 16th mile marker, which is called the Devil's Playground. That's the most we can go on our bikes or your car, and from there you have to take the shuttle that will take you to the summit and back. And we are just basically warned about the weather conditions, and we are like, hey, we are the Malangs, we have to go forward anyways. We have came all the way from Dallas, from New York, from Philadelphia, from New Jersey, and all different cities. We have gathered to make this climb, to make this ride, to make this trip. So we are not going to back off at this point. So we know, thank you for your information, and where we go forward. Here are all the Malangs waiting for me because I was the last one at the toll tag. Furqan fixing his camera, and everyone is basically getting prepared for the ascent. We are again at toll gate, the beginning, the first mile marker of the 19-mile stretch of Pikes Peak Highway in Colorado Springs. Basically, I was asking Rehan, the lead and the founding member of Mast Malang Riders, that do we put on our rain gear at this point or later? And he's like, no, not right now. We'll do it later, except at the next mile marker. We'll see the weather and we'll do it accordingly. So here we are dividing into two teams. Basically, we are 13 of us. But we will be dividing because from previous experience and the research that we have done, we have learned that it is better to ride in smaller smaller packs of group of people when it comes to highways like this, where you have cliffs and dangerous situations. So this way, everyone is safe. So we are grouping into two pieces, two teams. Furqan on his Ducati right here, he will be leading Team A, and Rehan on his street glide Harley Davidson will be leading Team B. And somehow they have decided that I'm part of Team B here. I've been pulled back, and I'm all ready. There goes Farhan with Team A. They're all leaving. Farhan is right there. Now we have a support truck. Hanif and Subhan are on the support vehicle, the red pickup truck that you will see with us. If, God forbid, anything goes wrong, that is what we will be using. There's a truck right there. Hanif is in there. Salman putting his rain gear, despite we decided, but it's better be safe than sorry. Here I started the motorcycle, getting ready. We have decided our Team B, four of us, Rehan leading us, me, Furqan and Salman, and then we have the support truck all the way at the end, the back for the support. Fixing my pants and everything. Rehan and Furqan syncing their Sena Bluetooth headsets so they can communicate with each other. I'm not part of it. I tend to go lonely. So Rehan in the front, support truck in the back. Let's the ride begin. set up, all ready to go. Rehan in the front, all set.
My number 2 up.
Confirm my position as number 2 behind Rehan. And here we go.
KGW.
Chal bhai, that's a Malang call, and we are off to the summit. Here we go. Beautiful day, green trees, you can see mountains in front of us. That's where we are heading to, climbing the mountain, Pikes Peak. Some dark clouds coming from the left. They will eventually rain a little, and they are raining. There is rain, as we were told at the toll gate, that there is rain and hail happening on the top. As you can see, this is a single lane highway. One road coming in, one road going out. And we have oncoming traffic without any separator between us. The climb is not steep at this point, but it will grow. It will really grow. Enjoy. You can see the ditches. There is no wall, no barrier of any kind. The ditches are pretty deep. All you can see is the top of the trees. Tall trees, but all you see are the tips of the trees on the top. So you can imagine how deep those ditches are on the left. Rehan making sure that everyone is fine behind us. We have Furqan and Salman behind us, and the support truck, the red truck, with Subhan and Hanif driving it. Rehan is leading Team B on his street glide, gliding through the highway. Oncoming traffic, sharp turns, and as you can see, there are no signs. We have no idea at this point what kind of turn it is. Is it a P? Is it an O? Is it an L? And there are cars. Falling rocks on the right side, deep ditches on the left side, narrow street, two-way highway, single lane, nobody can pass us, we cannot pass anyone, we just keep going on.
no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
So far, the roads they don't look as dangerous as we were told because this is just the beginning. We are not really making big climbs here. We are making a long stretch. Remember, it's a 19 miles stretch of a highway, and we started from number 1. I don't know where we are at this point, but we are heading to Glen Cove, which is the next stop that we will make, and decide whether to put more rain gear on or whether to go forward or not. So right now we are in the middle on the first stretch. Rehan leading us, me number 2, behind me are Furqan and Salman, and then the support truck. Then up front there is another team led by the one and only Hamad on his Ducati red sports bike that you see, and the whole team, we decided to divide ourselves. Now this seems pretty easy, that's why Rehan is trying to enjoy. I'm enjoying it. It's not as scary, but wait, now you see the ditches are on both sides, so it's not that we just have a huge wall on right and a ditch on the left. So no, you have ditches on both sides, and they're pretty deep. There is no room for error. You cannot just stop, you cannot just go off the ditch, because this can be fatal. That's the top of the mountain right in front of you. You can see the top of the summit. That's where we are heading. Right now we are initiating the climb, so it's not as steep as it will get later. You can see there are some barriers at some of the turns because they are really very dangerous. Sharp turns, well, this was not a sharp turn but just a turn. Gliding on the highway where is a street glide. Rehan is leading team B. You can see the mountain in front of us right at the end, all the way in the back. lots of greenery because good oxygen level here, but once we go at the top there is no oxygen or very low level in oxygen. That's why nothing grows over there. People will have hard time, trouble breathing, so we have to be careful of that also. So we started at 7,750 feet at the toll gate and heading towards the summit, which is 14,110 feet, the summit. Right now we are somewhere in the middle. We will see the Crystal Lake, which is a crystal reservoir, 9,200 feet, 9230, pretty soon. The climb is becoming more steep. Bikes are humming harder. You can hear the bikes struggling. These are heavy bikes, so they're not really struggling, but you can see the difference. The weather was pretty nice down at the toll gate, but as we are ascending, it's getting cold. We can feel some of the temperatures on the hand, on the face, whatever is covered. So Rehan is making sure that everyone is fine behind us, because sometimes they are a little behind and we cannot see them around the curve. So Rehan is making sure, being the good leader of the team, he's making sure that everyone is intact and following us in the group. You can see the mountain in front of us. The security is passing by, checking, making sure everything is fine. Here we go. now you can see the slopes are much steeper. You can see the top of the trees on the left, falling rocks on the right. We are reaching somewhere, I believe, but still we are climbing. We are closer to the summit. It's getting colder, oxygen levels are getting lower, and the turns are not as sharp as we have heard. So now here we have reached the Glen Cove. This is one of the big stop where people leave their car, take the shuttle to the summit because they don't want to take the real dangerous roads and the turns and the steep hills, because we will be climbing. So right now we are at the Glen Cove, mile marker number 13, meaning we have traveled 13 miles out of 19, and the elevation at this point is 11,440 feet. Now we can feel the cold, and we are told that there is some rain and sleet happening on the top, on the summit going forward, so it is safe to change some gears. As you can see, my gloves are fabric, they are mesh, good for summer weather for Dallas, Texas. So we will be upgrading our gear, putting on the rain gear, warm clothing, putting up one more layer of protection, and move forward from here. So here we go. This is where I put new gloves, the leather gloves, and I have wool sleeves because that's where some of the cold air goes in my jacket. At the same time, I have put on ski mask under the helmet to protect my neck area from cold air, because believe me, on the top the current temperatures, as we have seen, were in mid 30s, which is near freezing. And we are on bike, so you can calculate that when you are riding on a bike, the temperature you should subtract about 10 degrees from the current temperature. That's how you feel like on a moving bike. So I believe Rehan has left with the Team A, and these two guys are behind me. I think Salman and Furqan and the support truck are behind me. With the camera on top, I decided to start, and they will follow me, and I start the ascent. So starting from the Glen Cove, mile marker number 13, we are heading to the summit. Next stop is Devil's Playground, mile marker number 16. That's the most we are allowed to go, whether on the bike or on the car. From there you have to take a shuttle to go to the summit, which is at 14,000 elevation, 14,000 feet. So the real ride starts from here, which is more dangerous, more thrilling, more adventurous than what we just did. That was not as bad as we thought, but this is serious. Now you can see on the right side, pretty steep, not much of a road play around, not much wiggle space for me on the right side. The turns are much sharper. Look at this big trucks coming onwards, so there's oncoming traffic. There are cars parked in the middle of these dangerous roads. There are some dark clouds. They are on the top. They were raining. As a matter of fact, there was sleet, as we were told. So now the slope are pretty much more steeper than what we had before. Steeper, I would say. And the ditches are much deeper on the left. You can see cars are driving slow, bikes are riding slow, turns are much sharper and dangerous. You cannot go fast because you don't know what's ahead. You cannot go slow because bikes going slow will start wobbling and you have to put your feet down, or you will be going backwards because the slopes are very steep. Look at the left side. How deep and far away. Now here's a sign. A sharp U-turn. Look at the barrier. 10 miles per hour. Look at the water on the street, on the road. Ice melting somewhere. Look at the right side. Not much space to wiggle. You cannot really play. You cannot go on the left side, there's a car coming on front. You cannot go to the right because look how steep and dangerous. Oh, finally, some barrier. A motorcycle is not as stable as a car, so we have to balance the bike, make sure we don't wobble that much, we don't have much room to play. We cannot stop. You have to put your feet down. You're not really ready for doing that. I don't know if you can see it, but right all the way out at the end of the screen on the top, you can see the rest of the bikers passing around across the screen. You cannot really see it, but I saw them. This black silhouette of bikes. So here's another sharp turn, making sure I'm looking at the oncoming traffic, making the sharp turn and climbing the steep slope here. Cars coming over, look at the background. Wow. We are at least at 11,000 feet. And then there are people on the road. Look at these people on the road facing backwards. Look at the right side. You will see the road that I was talking about earlier where I saw the one on the top. All the way down there. We're almost there. Another sharp turn. Roads seem to be getting narrower because there is no shoulder on either side. Looks like you're climbing to the heavens. Dark clouds, you cannot see much because camera can only capture that much. You have to experience this by yourself. I invite you, you should go there, drive, take a shuttle, ride a bike, do whatever, but you must go there. Look at the sharp turns again, all the way on the top, and it's very steep, my friends. It is steep and dangerous. Look at this, not much road on the right side. Steep, deep ditches, not much road. Finally, some barrier all the way at the end. These are mostly meant for the oncoming traffic coming down from top, so that if they go out of control, they don't roll over the ditch. I am going a little faster than what mostly other riders are. That's why you'll see I will catch the Team A pretty soon, catch on to them. And Team B is behind me. I don't know how far off they are because I was really concerned about capturing the moment and making sure I am safe, bike is safe, and I make it to the top. I don't even want to look to the right or the left because that can put you out of balance sometimes. Just focus on the street, be careful, focus. Look at the road. There you can see the rest of the Malang Riders in front of me. That's Team A that left earlier. I basically got onto them. There's a car behind them, so you can see nobody can pass each other. The cars, if they're stuck behind us, or if we are stuck behind a car, basically you cannot just pass them unless they go on the side or somewhere. So almost on the top now, not much on the right side. See, there's not much mountain on the right, on the deep ditch on the left. I think this is the last sharp turn. Look at the car. Even the cars are scared. And there we go. The Devil's Playground. Mile marker number 16. You cannot go any far from there on a vehicle, bike or a car. You are not allowed. You have to take their shuttle. Devil's Playground, mile marker number 16, elevation of 12,780 feet out of 14,000 feet that the summit is. We a 19-mile stretch. We are at mile 16. It's called marker 16, named Devil's Playground, elevation 12,780 feet. Oxygen level is pretty low. Temperatures are in mid 30s, pretty freezing. We are all wearing extra layer of protection, both from rain in case and the cold. We are told that we cannot go any further. All the cars are parked right here. You can see the shuttle. I'm telling the security guy I'm with the team. I'm going to join them and just stay there. That's the most we can go. There's a summit. We took the shuttle to the summit. We did not ride because we were not allowed. Took the shuttle and reached the summit. Here you can see everyone. We made it. Now let me share the pictures, some pictures that Furqan put together in a video. Enjoy.
When did you get back from Beijing? I gotta know. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia like me? I wanna know. Darling, am I dying? Feel like I've been holding on too long. Ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia like me? You got me cherry kisses on my chin.
Here we go, descending back from the Devil's Playground. I decided to lead all by myself, making sure my camera is running because I just pressed the record button. I didn't know if it started or stopped. So, mirror, and here starts the descent. All by myself, going down, starting from the 13,000 Devil's Playground. Was it 13,000? 12,780 feet, going down to 7,000 feet, about 16 miles steep descent on Pikes Peak Summit. Sharp turns. Now we are going down, so we are mostly on the right side of the street of the highway, so-called highway road. Pretty much not using our brakes, using the gears, controlling our the speed with the gear, not giving much gas, basically rolling with the steep hill, rolling with the slope, sharp turns. You can see dark clouds on the top, deep ditches far away, and even the street, you can see there's not much room to play, not much room to error. So we have to be very careful, focus on the road, make the sharp turns.
I was gonna rip it hard out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match me.
So you can see in front of me there are a couple of motorcycle bikers, riders. They are not part of our group. They were riding pretty slow for my taste. I wanted to give them some space. Even the cars are stuck behind them. They were making the sharp turns very slow, very gently. I wanted to give some space to the cars in front of me, so I decided to slow down a little wherever I can, as long as there is nobody stuck behind me. So there are no cars behind me. I'm slowing down a little. Let them just pass so I can make the sharp turn a little faster. And there are people on the road, on the sides, taking pictures. Nice view probably. But you are on the road, guys. Look at the beautiful view from here. The street, the road gliding down, the mountains, snow on top, the dark clouds. Beautiful. Colorado, Pikes Peak is beautiful. Something that you must do if you can. Take the vacation, drive there, take a shuttle. You don't have to drive. Look at the big truck at the sharp turn. Wow. So no matter how slow I try to go to give them space, I almost always ending up right behind the tail, because that's how slow they're going. Even the cars are stuck behind these bikes. Trying to keep my distance so that I have room to play. I have slowed down as much as possible without blocking traffic behind me, just to give them more space so that I don't have to slow down for them at turns unnecessarily. Look at the view, the mountains, the deep ditches on the right. It's like deep valley on the right. And all you can see is the tip of the tall trees. That's how deep the ditch is. The tall tree, all you see is the tip of the tree. So I got the chance to slow down as much as possible, but still you can see them because there comes another sharp turn and they slow down even more. So I think these two cars are doing exactly the same thing with the bikes in front of them, giving them some space so that they don't have to be stuck behind the bikes. So they're driving slower, and I don't see the bikes in front of them, basically giving them some space to go on so you're not stuck behind their tail, and I don't want to be stuck behind the tail of these cars. Look at the right side. Well, there is a road. We are about to make a sharp right turn, and you can see the road underneath, and then there is more ditches. Look how slow the cars are making the sharp turns. That's how scary it is. I don't know if you can feel it, but just by looking at the big cars, how scared they are making these sharp turns slowly, like at speed of 5 or 10 miles per hour, I guess, even lower. So Hassan, another fellow rider, is asking what kind of bike I'm riding. This is a Harley Davidson lowrider 1700cc bike, pretty same to the Thano that I have, the Yamaha Raider. I decided to rent a similar bike. Now here you can see I have reached the Glen Cove station, which is the 13th. Let me confirm that. Glen Cove is mile 13 at the elevation of 11,440 Glen Cove. So what they are doing, guys, here is they are checking your brakes. Well, after all this, now they're checking your brakes going downwards, going to the toll gate. making sure that they are not hot, because what happens when you are holding the brake for so long, they tend to get hot and they can even catch fire. So at the security here, at this checkpoint, what they're doing is they're checking your brakes that they are not burning hot or about to catch fire. So that's what they are checking, and you will see the sign soon saying that this is a mandatory brake check stop. This is where we added our extra layer of gear, put warm clothes on, changed my gloves, and put the ski mask under the helmet. So this is the place where we changed a little. So I'm not going to stop here, I'm just going to go further, descend down to the toll gate. The rest of the team is still on the top. We are not in touch. There is no communications, cell phones, none of the cell phones, none of the providers were working. There you can see the sign, it says mandatory brake checks. You have to stop, and they're checking the brakes, not for the bikes because the bikes' brakes are right in front of them. They can see the smoke if it was burning. So I was cleared, and we continue. So from here we will continue down. And guys, please don't forget to share this video, this link, this live broadcast with your friends on Facebook, and then you can follow us on Twitter at Mast Malang. That's our Twitter handle. Follow us on YouTube at Mast Malang Riders, at Facebook on Dallas Mast Malang Riders, and our website address is www.mastmalangriders.com. So make sure that you follow us, you like us, you share our stuff, and you subscribe to our videos and content so you are updated and notified whenever we post something new, something exciting. So I don't see the bikes anymore, probably because they were not stopped at the stop sign and the cars had to spend some time. This gave the bikers some time to move forward. So now, luckily, I don't see them, but now I'm stuck behind these cars. I have to ride slowly, slower than what I would like to. I believe that when you have forward momentum, you have more control over the bike rather than going slow, where the bike starts wobbling, you're running out of balance, and you have to control the balance. So a little speed helps you keeping the bike up, even at the turns. So again, I'm trying to give them some space, don't want to be right at their tail. There are two cars in front of me. But still, I'm enjoying the ride, descending from the Pikes Peak. It was cold up there, not as cold as here. The oxygen levels are much better. You see greenery because there is oxygen. There was no oxygen up there. That's why there was no trees, no plantation, no nothing. So right now I'm not giving any race basically riding on my clutch. I think I'm on first or second gear, riding on my clutch, not applying much brake unless it's emergency and I have to make a complete stop. Just rolling with the flow, with the slope of the street, of the road. Beautiful view you can see behind. In the back, tall trees, deep ditches, beautiful valley, dark clouds, as beautiful as it can get. Guys, you have to visit this place, Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak Mountain, Pikes Peak Summit, Pikes Peak Highway, beautiful road, gorgeous. Now you can see that you cannot really pass unless the cars in front of you give you some space. That's what these guys, thank you guys, thank you very much. They gave me some space. Now I don't have to stop, I don't have to slow down. I will just roll. I will still not give any gas. I will not race down. I'm just flowing with the road, not giving any gas, controlling my descent with the clutch. I think I'm on first or second gear. So the cars in front of me have moved, giving me space to continue. And now I'm just rolling on the flow, with the flow of the road, not stopping at all, just controlling my descent with the clutch if I have to. Time to enjoy the sharp turns with high speed as much as possible. This is what I was waiting for all along. You can feel the wind increasing up because I'm going a little faster, guys. So we are almost at the end of the strip, descending from Pikes Peak Summit, going back to the toll gate. I don't think I had enough battery in my camera to capture all the way to the toll gate. Pretty much this will be ending. I hope you enjoyed the ride, the thrilling ride on a motorcycle, having the perspective, a biker's perspective of how the road feels. Of course, you cannot feel the air, the wind touching our faces, our necks, our body, but still you can feel the dangerous roads and the danger of falling from such heights and at these deep ditches. We enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I would like you to make this trip whenever you can. Ride there, take a car, take a bus. They have shuttles that will take you to the top. Make sure that you carry portable oxygen tanks with you, because in case the oxygen level is really unbearable. It can become very unbearable up on the top of the summit. So you can carry some personal canister of oxygen tanks that will help you breathe easier up there. So basically, this was the descent coming down from Pikes Peak on a motorcycle, riding the Pikes Peak Highway, 19-mile stretch from the peak, the summit of Pikes Peak to the toll gate. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was the first time we have broadcasted live from Mast Malang Riders Facebook page. First experience for all of us, hosting with me Furqan, Rehan and Nadeem, the founding members of Mast Malang Riders, hosting, and it was a pleasure sharing our experience with you. The ride to Colorado Springs Pikes Peak Summit on the motorcycle. In future we will do this more often, more videos, live broadcasts, so you can feel unedited raw version of what really happens on our rides. Well, I think this is the most we can capture on the battery life that we have on the camera. I hope you enjoyed the whole experience. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.